Quick disclaimer, this was a super short video that I intended to just share with some friends, but now that I have this channel, I might as well put it here. So that's why the thumbnail took like 0 seconds to create. Hope you enjoyed the video though. A lot of World Cups in OSU usually in their history have one team just dominating for a while. Standard has the United States, Catch had South Korea, and Taiko, well, Taiko has Japan, who hasn't lost a match since 2013. And what do you know? 10 years later, they'd go on to do something the game had never seen before.
And that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Japan celebrating 10 years of Taiko World Cup dominance.
Japan dominates the Taiko World Cup every single year. It's like clockwork to them. Assemble the super team, win every single match, boom, you got a badge. But 2023 was different. It wasn't like any of their other runs. This was a whole new level of dominance, and it was probably the most dominant World Cup run in any game mode ever. We'll start this off from the qualifier stage, where Japan would place number 1 on 8 out of the 10 maps in the pools, topping every single mod category by a lot. Now, percentage-wise, we've seen more dominant qualifier finishes, like this recent year in 2024, when they topped all 7 qualifier maps, but that's still less total maps than 2023. And some of these finishes are just insane. Look at DT1. Almost every single attempt by a Japanese player was in the top 6, and the only reason it wasn't a clean sweep was because Gohigi's first run beat out Saren's second run by a tiny amount. But that's qualifier stage, and with qualifiers out of the way, it's time to actually go into the bracket. And they didn't drop a map. They didn't drop a single map the entire tournament. Not only did they not drop a map, but out of the 31 maps they played, if we took every single other team in this Taiko World Cup's scores on those maps and put them up against Japan, you know how many total maps they would lose? 1. They would lose 1 free mod pick on the very first round, and that's just because Nanos got a 98%. No other team put up a single score that could get a point up against Japan. That's how good they were. We're technically missing a match here, since the Philippines FF'd their match against Japan, but even then, you'll probably see later that they didn't stand a chance at a point. And their matches were up against some really strong teams. In quarters, they met a Germany with one of the best tournament players in the world, who'd ultimately end up sweeping the US and beating South Korea for a 3rd place finish. In semis, they faced that South Korean team who'd go on to finish 4th, and they would, of course, double eliminate Taiwan. That is the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place teams in the World Cup, and they didn't drop a point. You wanna know the craziest thing? Let's set up a situation on each map that Japan played where the lowest scoring Japanese player goes up against the best scoring player on the other team. Okay, so we just need anybody on the other team to beat anybody on Japan on any of these maps. You know how many maps Japan would lose in that head-to-head out of their 31 maps? 9. There were 9 maps where anybody on the opposing team beat anybody on Japan. That's more than 2/3 of the maps where nobody on the opposing team would have beaten anybody on Japan against the best teams in the world on the most volatile stages. I don't see how you could build a more perfect Taiko World Cup run than what Japan put together in 2023.